Life often feels like a balancing act between dreams and reality. I'm Anna, a 28-year-old marketing strategist, juggling my professional aspirations with a personal dream that's always seemed just out of reach. This dream, a quaint boutique cafe, has been my sanctuary and thought for years. Every evening, as I return from work, the comforting embrace of my home greets me. It's not just the four walls and the furniture that make it so, it's also Daniel, my partner. His presence has always been a source of comfort and stability. "How was your day?" he asks, his voice tinged with genuine interest. "Exhausting, but productive," I reply, sinking into our cozy sofa. Daniel joins me, his hand finding mine, a silent symbol of support. Our conversations often drift to dreams and future plans. He's always been supportive, at least in words. "How's the dream fund looking?" Daniel inquires, a playful curiosity in his eyes. I chuckle. "Growing, slowly but steadily. Just checked it this morning and it's looking promising." The Dream Fund, a special savings account known only to Daniel and my best friend Sophie. Sophie and I have shared this dream since high school, our bond cemented by our mutual aspirations. Sophie called today, I mention. She's excited about a new decor idea for the cafe. Daniel smiles, but there's a flicker of something else in his expression, something I can't quite place. "You and your cafe dreams," he teases gently. "I love your passion, Anna." That night, after Daniel has fallen asleep, I find myself unable to rest. A nagging feeling tugs at the back of my mind, urging me to check something. Quietly, I reach for my laptop and log into the online banking portal. The Dream Fund. My heart sinks. The numbers don't add up. There's a significant withdrawal, one I didn't authorize. $5,000, just gone. My mind races. It has to be a mistake. Morning comes with a heavy air. Daniel is already in the kitchen, brewing coffee. "Daniel, we need to talk," I say, my voice steady despite the turmoil inside. He turns, a flicker of concern crossing his face. "What's wrong?" "The Dream Fund. There's $5,000 missing. Did you?" I trail off, the question hanging heavily between us. Daniel's eyes shift, avoiding mine. "Yeah, I took it. Needed it for something important. I'll put it back, I promise." I feel a mix of betrayal and disbelief. "You took it without asking? Daniel, you know how much that means to me." He sighs, a flicker of irritation crossing his face. "It's just money, Anna. We're a team, right? What's mine is yours, and vice versa. But that money was for our dream, not for what did you even need it for?" "It's complicated. I'll sort it out. Don't worry about it." His tone is dismissive, brushing off my concerns. I stand there, feeling a chasm widening between us. But this isn't just about the money. It's about trust, respect, and shared dreams. As I look at Daniel, I wonder if he truly understands what this dream means to me, or if he ever did. The days following the discovery of the missing funds were filled with a tense silence between Daniel and me. His casual dismissal of my concerns had left a sour taste, and I found myself questioning the foundations of our relationship. But little did I know, life was about to throw an even more devastating curveball my way. It was a Wednesday like any other. I was crossing the street, lost in thoughts about the cafe, when it happened. A car, speeding, out of control, crashed into me. Pain exploded through my body, and then darkness. I awoke to a symphony of beeps and murmurs, the sterile smell of a hospital filling my senses. Panic set in as I tried to open my eyes, but was met with only darkness. An attempt to move revealed another horror. My legs were unresponsive. "Anna, you're awake," a familiar voice said. It was Sophie, her tone a mix of relief and sorrow. "What happened? I can't see." "My legs." Sophie's hand squeezed mine. "You were in an accident. The doctors, they said your eyes were badly damaged, and your spine." The words hit me like a tidal wave. Blind and paralyzed, the reality was too much to bear. My dream, the cafe, our plans, all slipping away like sand through fingers. Daniel's visits were infrequent and brief. His voice, once filled with warmth, now seemed distant, strained. "How are you feeling?" he'd ask, but the words felt hollow. Sophie, on the other hand, was my rock. She'd sit with me for hours, her presence a comforting constant in my new dark world. "We'll get through this, Anna. I'm here for you," she'd say, her voice laced with determination. But as days turned into weeks, a gnawing suspicion began to grow within me. Daniel's visits became even rarer, and when he did show up, his phone seemed more interesting than my plight. His responses were curt, his patience thin. "Daniel, why aren't you saying much?" I asked during one of his silent visits. "What's there to say, Anna? It's not like things can go back to how they were," he replied, his words cutting deeper than any physical pain I had endured. The hospital room felt more like a prison, trapping me with my thoughts and fears. Was Daniel pulling away because of my condition? And Sophie, why was she so adamant about not letting me give up? Then came the day of my discharge. Daniel arrived, his tone unusually gentle. "It's time to go home, Anna." But the journey didn't take us home. Instead, the car stopped at an unfamiliar place. Confusion and fear mingled within me. "Daniel, where are we?" My voice trembled. "Just a place to help you relax. A change of scenery," he said, his voice too calm. His hands guided me into a building, empty, echoing. Then the unimaginable happened. "You're a hassle now, Anna. Just live here." His voice was cold, devoid of the man I once knew. A door slammed, a lock clicked, abandoned, alone, in darkness and despair. My calls for help were swallowed by the silence. The realization hit me. I was not just physically impaired, I was utterly alone. As tears streamed down my face, a glimmer of hope appeared. A familiar voice, filled with warmth and urgency. "Anna," Sophie. The sound of Sophie's voice was like a lifeline in the abyss of my despair. "Sophie? Is that really you?" My voice trembled with a mix of hope and disbelief. "Yes, it's me, Anna. I'm here now." Sophie's voice cracked with emotion as she embraced me, her presence a stark contrast to the cold abandonment I had just experienced. "How did you find me?" I asked, my mind still reeling from Daniel's betrayal. "I suspected something was off when Daniel was vague about your discharge details. I followed him," she explained, her tone revealing a mixture of anger and concern. Sophie wheeled me out of the desolate building, the sounds and scents of the outside world feeling both foreign and familiar. The ride to her apartment was quiet, each of us lost in our thoughts. Once settled in Sophie's guest room, the reality of my situation began to sink in. I was now blind, paralyzed, and betrayed by the person I had trusted most. But in this darkest hour, Sophie's unwavering support provided a glimmer of hope. "Anna, I promise you we'll get through this. You're not alone," Sophie assured me, her hand gripping mine firmly. Over the next few days, she became my eyes and legs. She described the world outside, helped me with physical therapy, and even brought up our old dream of the cafe, though I could hardly bear to think about it. "It's still our dream, Anna. Don't let him take that away from you, too," Sophie urged, her voice filled with passion. Her words stirred something within me, a flicker of the old fire, the determination that had once defined me. But it was overshadowed by a deep-seated sense of betrayal and loss. "Why did he do this, Sophie? Why did Daniel abandon me?" The question haunted me, the answer elusive and painful. Sophie sighed, a mixture of sadness and anger in her voice. "I don't know, Anna, but I do know this. You deserved better. We'll find a way to make him answer for what he's done." Her promise of justice brought a small comfort, but the road ahead seemed insurmountable. Yet in the depths of despair, I found a newfound determination to rise again, fueled by Sophie's unwavering support and the faint ember of my own resilience. In the weeks that followed, my world remained shrouded in darkness, both literally and metaphorically. Yet amidst this bleak landscape, Sophie's presence was a beacon of hope. She took care of me with a dedication that went beyond friendship, becoming my pillar of strength. One day, as I sat contemplating in Sophie's living room, she broached a subject I had been avoiding. "Anna, I've been thinking about our cafe dream," I sighed, feeling a pang of sorrow. "Sophie, I don't think I can." "Listen to me," she interrupted gently. "This dream isn't just about a cafe. It's about us, our journey, our resilience. I want to make it happen, for both of us." Her words ignited a spark within me. Despite my physical limitations, the dream we had nurtured for so long still held a special place in my heart. "Let's do it then," I said, a sense of purpose returning to my voice. "Let's make our dream a reality." With renewed vigor, we began planning. Sophie would handle the physical aspects while I contributed with ideas and decisions. It was during this time that karma began to catch up with Daniel. Sophie had discreetly started a legal process against Daniel for his abandonment and misuse of our funds. The law was on our side, and soon Daniel faced the consequences of his actions. He was arrested for fraud and abandonment, a news that brought a complex mix of satisfaction and sadness. Months passed, and our dream cafe began to take shape. It was a quaint, cozy place, filled with the warmth and love we had poured into it. Named Echoes, it became a symbol of our journey and a testament to overcoming adversity. The grand opening was a bittersweet moment. As guests filled the cafe, their voices a harmonious blend of excitement and admiration, I felt a mixture of pride and longing. I wished I could see the fruition of our efforts, but the joy in Sophie's voice as she described every detail painted a vivid picture in my mind. Then, an unexpected visitor arrived. Daniel. His presence caused a stir, his face a mask of shock and disbelief as he took in the thriving cafe he had never believed in. "Anna, he started, but his words were cut short by Sophie's firm tone. "Save it, Daniel. You lost the right to be a part of this a long time ago." His attempts to speak were drowned out by the supportive murmurs of our guests who had come to know our story. Daniel left, defeated, and alone, a stark contrast to the vibrant community that had gathered in our cafe. In that moment, I realized that while I had lost my sight and mobility, I had gained something far greater, a sense of accomplishment, a community that supported us, and a friendship that had stood the test of the darkest times. The success of Echoes, our dream cafe, was a testament to our resilience, but it also marked the beginning of a new chapter in my life. Despite the joy and sense of achievement, I grappled with the reality of my disability and the lingering shadows of betrayal. Sophie was my constant companion, but she encouraged me to start embracing my independence. With her gentle nudging, I began to explore the world of adaptive technologies and found ways to contribute more actively to the cafe. I took on administrative tasks, using voice-activated software to manage our finances and social media. It was during one of my afternoons at the cafe that I met Lucas, a regular customer whose kindness and gentle voice quickly caught my attention. He would often sit at the counter, striking up conversations about everything from books to music, making me laugh and slowly bringing light into my world. "Anna, have you ever tried this cake? It's my favorite here," Lucas asked one day, his tone warm and inviting. I smiled, appreciating his effort to include me. "I haven't, but I trust your taste. Maybe you can describe it to me?" As Lucas detailed the flavors and textures, I found myself enjoying the simple pleasure of his company. Our conversations became a highlight of my days, and I sensed a growing connection between us. However, the scars of my past experience with Daniel made me cautious. I was hesitant to open my heart again, fearing the vulnerability that came with it. One evening, after the cafe had closed, Sophie sat down beside me. "Anna, I've noticed how you light up around Lucas. He seems like a really good guy." "I know, but I'm scared, Sophie. After everything with Daniel, how can I trust someone again?" Sophie took my hand, her voice sincere. "You deserve happiness, Anna. Don't let Daniel's actions define your future. Lucas is not him." Her words resonated with me, and I decided to take a chance. Gradually, I opened up to Lucas, sharing my fears, hopes, and dreams. To my relief and joy, he accepted me for who I was, disability and all. Our relationship blossomed, and Lucas became an integral part of my life. He brought a sense of normalcy and happiness that I hadn't felt in a long time. With him, I rediscovered the joy of being in love, the excitement of planning a future together. As I navigated this new phase of my life, I realized that healing wasn't just about overcoming physical challenges, but also about allowing myself to trust and love again. Lucas's presence in my life was a gentle reminder that even in the darkest times, there are rays of hope and new beginnings waiting to be embraced. The months following my relationship with Lucas were like a gentle sunrise after a long, dark night. Our love grew, enveloping me in warmth and security I hadn't known since before the accident. Lucas's acceptance and love helped heal the scars left by Daniel's betrayal. "Anna, I love you for who you are, and I want to be with you, no matter what the future holds," Lucas said to me one evening, his words sincere and full of emotion. His declaration was a balm to my soul. I had come to love him deeply, his presence a source of joy and comfort. With Lucas, I felt a sense of completeness, a feeling that I was no longer defined by my disabilities, but by the love and strength I possessed. Our relationship wasn't without its challenges. There were moments of doubt and fear, but together we navigated them with understanding and patience. Lucas's unwavering support in both my personal life and our work at the cafe made me realize how much I had grown and how much I could still achieve. Meanwhile, Echoes continued to thrive, becoming more than just a cafe. It was a community hub, a place of warmth and acceptance. Sophie and I often marveled at how our dream had blossomed, becoming a source of inspiration for others facing their own challenges. As time passed, Sophie also found love. Her partner, a carpenter who had helped with the cafe renovations, was a kind and gentle soul. Their relationship, much like mine and Lucas's, was built on mutual respect and shared dreams. One day, as we sat in the cafe after closing time, Sophie said to me, "Anna, do you realize how far we've come? From dreaming about this place in high school to making it a reality despite everything?" I smiled, feeling a surge of pride and gratitude. "I do, and I couldn't have done it without you, Sophie. You saved me in more ways than one." Our conversation turned to the future, to the possibilities that lay ahead. We talked about expanding the cafe, hosting community events, and even starting a podcast to share our story and inspire others. As I sat there, chatting and laughing with Sophie and Lucas, I realized that my journey had come full circle. From the depths of despair to the heights of happiness, I had traversed a path filled with trials and triumphs. Life had thrown its worst at me, but with the support of those I loved and my own inner strength, I had emerged stronger and more resilient. My story was one of betrayal and heartache, but more importantly, it was a story of hope, love, and the power of dreams. And as I looked forward to the future, I knew that whatever challenges it might bring, I was ready to face them head-on, with love and hope as my guiding lights.